spending time with her husband, friends, family, including her 12 grandchildren. In her spare time, she connects and celebrates with the women involved in motorsports, taking you behind the wall about their journey of life, racing, and how they juggle everything to make it all work. Welcome to Racing Girls Rock Podcast. Strap in, window nets up, the pedals are down, and when the green flag drops, we go.
Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with Racing Girls Rock Podcast. And my guest today is my friend Gina. Gina and I met a couple of years ago at an event in Chicago it was for women who loved motorsports of pretty much any kind. It was a lovely event that we went to and where we met. And I learned a little bit more about Gina. She has a radio show that I want her to talk to you about and share with you because she's an amazing woman. She's done lots of cool things in her life. And so, Gina, welcome to the show.
Melinda, thank you so much. And what you do is fantastic. I was so impressed by you when I met you, that you bring this motorsports to all these people. And you have such interesting guests. So I think what you're doing is fabulous.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So,
and
go ahead.
That was a really fun event, both motorcycle and car. It's one of our favorite events in the Chicagoland area. That was kind of the pre-fun session. One of the pre-fun sessions before the actual event, which was Motoblot, which I happen to have a card right here.
Okay.
And we'll be doing that again this fall because everything has been rescheduled, of course. Otherwise, we would have had it last month. But so I've been doing a radio show for 23 years, and it's been it's been a great ride. It's a motorcycle talk radio show. It started out just radio only back in the day, before we had all this cool stuff that we're doing now.
Right.
And but we've still been on radio for 23 years, and now we brought in Facebook streaming and YouTube and LinkedIn. But we talk motorcycles, gearheads. So it's anything. Usually, if you're a motorcycle lover, you're a gearhead. Period. You love the cars, fast cars and fast motorcycles, right?
Right.
Yeah, so there's really not a big difference in between them. One's got 2 wheels, one's got 4.
Exactly.
But the same mentality. And yeah, I've just met amazing people while I've had the show. I got to do a stint out in Bonneville, so I raced motorcycles. I've just met the coolest people on 2 wheels and 4. So it's just been a fun run. It's been a really fun run. And I can't believe it's already 23 years.
I know. Time goes so quick at times, doesn't it? And you look back
Yes.
and you think, wow, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. And then you kind of look at where you started and your, where you've come from along the way. And then it's like, wow, it really has been. So why don't you tell us the name of your radio show and how can people listen in and how can they find you?
Thank you. It's Open Road Radio, Motorcycle Talk, openroadradio.com. And they can also tune in every Saturday morning. It's 11 till noon Central. And they can tune in by 1590 AM if you're in the Chicago area, 95.9 FM. Or you can go to Facebook and go to Open Road Radio or Chopper Town. We partnered with them. They've got a nice 2.5 million platform of followers. So it's really nice for us to talk to people all over the world. We get people that tune in and they'll let us know where they're from every week. Sweden, UK, Germany, Brazil. I mean, just everywhere. So it's really fun to, it's an addiction that's worldwide.
It really is. And I've been amazed at the people that I've seen follow me on social media. So I was looking at some of the statistics on my social media account, and I've had someone there, at least one person from 63 different countries. And it was like, well, that's
Wow.
really cool. And you just don't
It
realize
is.
the reach that you have until you start looking at some of those. So why don't you tell me,
It's
like,
really
who do you
fun.
interview and what do you talk about on your show?
So we have different segments. So I've got a ride and rally segment. So we'll talk about upcoming events, and if we're at the event, then we can, uh, or one of our reporters, and we can do it live from that event. We do a news and legislation. We do a speed shop about all of the different um, races. Road America is one of our sponsors, so they had the Moto America their last weekend. And so we have one of our reporters up there and they did it live from there. So yeah, it's just different segments, different sponsorships. We've had everybody on from Jay Leno to, oh my gosh, Tom Berenger. I'm trying to get Jason Momoa on right now for this week or the upcoming weeks, whichever. But I am talking with their people, so that's one of our special. Will be one of our special shows.
Yeah.
And we talk about motorcycles. Um, we always said that our show is rider educational, informational, and entertainment wise.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a little bit of all that, don't you? So that
We
everybody
do.
everybody likes something different or they're looking for something different. So I actually watched the race that was at Road America. That is a great track to go to. Mark and I have been there a couple of times, and there's another race coming up at the end of June that's going to be there.
Yes.
And so just, going to look and see, are they going to let fans there and different things. So we kind of have that on our list maybe to go because we need to get out and get away from Michigan for a little bit. So
And
yeah.
they are having fans there.
Are they?
It's already been, yes, it's already been approved. So they are going to have fans there. And I think it's going to be really, everybody's a little tired of being locked up and
Yeah.
locked down. And so I think that'll be nice to see and have people that, all have the same passion, you
Right.
know, fast cars and fast motorcycles. But yeah, and understandably, we want to all be healthy first and then so that we can continue to do these things. But I think we're gonna have a real busy fall, I'll tell you that.
I do too. I've had quite a few events rescheduled. I had about 12 to 15 events scheduled this summer at racetracks for really aimed for the women that come to the track, but not just for them. Men were obviously invited to come to them as well, and they've
Good.
all been postponed or delayed. So I'm hoping that we can get NASCAR back with their fans. And get some of these events back on the calendar because that was going to be a fun summer and now I'm kind of sitting around waiting, but it's fun to go to the track. It's fun to meet those people that have like interests that you have. And Road America is a great place. The other one that we really like is Mid Ohio, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mid Ohio is probably our favorite, and then Road America is second right after that. So we love motorcycle racing. My husband has a motorcycle. I used to have one, but after I had back surgery, I just couldn't do it
yeah,
anymore, so I had to sell it. But we
yeah,
we love motorcycles and riding the motorcycle and talking to motorcycle people. There's nobody better than talking to other
yeah,
motorcycle people, is there?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really fun is that because of this whole COVID thing, I've started to do some of my broadcasts, which I did last weekend from my garage, which is really fun. Don't get me wrong, I love to go to the radio station, which I do every Saturday, but I've been kind of intermingling it with being in the garage and with my motorcycles and this new one that I'm building or rebuilding, I should say. So yeah, I mean, this has really opened a lot of things up to different ways of staying in touch and communicating. A lot of this cyber. There's a cyber swap meet they had on last week, motorcycle swap meets. It's really made us learn to be a little bit more creative and think out of the box.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely, for sure. It's, when you can't do what you've always done, then you have to shift and figure out another way to
that
talk to those people. And so yeah, it's been interesting to me, all the different Facebook events that people have had. They have their cocktail parties and their,
yeah,
their wine
right.
parties, and my family had and this is kind of cool. So my family did a Zoom call because we're from my cousins. They're in New York and Chicago and Indiana, and we're in Michigan. And so my daughters are in Arizona. So we had a Zoom call on Easter. And we normally wouldn't all of us get together on Easter because we're all so far apart. But we had a Zoom call. And we would have never done that if it hadn't been for the whole COVID thing and
Yeah,
that. And
that's neat.
yeah, and so I'm thinking we need to keep doing that because we can't always get together with the people that matter, but we
Yeah,
can connect with them through Zoom or anything that's similar. And so it has made us, I think, appreciate being able to be together, being able to go to the racetrack, being able to go to events without thinking. We kind of took them for granted. And now we're so
yeah.
excited for them to come back that I think participation will be up because people will be ready to go to events and especially go to the racetrack. So things are going to be never the same, but hopefully better than they were. That's my hope.
Exactly. I think so too. And I think more people may work from home. I've been working from home for 23 years. I love it. But I do go into, I go into the dealerships, the motorcycle dealerships. I go to the meetings, I'm part of a BATE. I'm part of the Antique Motorcycle Club of America meetings. So yeah, but I think people maybe can not take things for granted so much and also work at home where we can maybe save, the good things that came out of this are the creative and the things that everybody's been doing, but also the world, I think was a better place, or at
I
least it
agree.
was a week ago.
Yeah.
They're going crazy now, but the world got to breathe a little bit instead of having all this manufacturing smoke. And I mean, they were saying that it's, the waters were a little bit cleaner, the air was a little bit fresher. So hopefully we learned from that and we can take that with us moving forward. I think that's a really big part and really important for us. So I think maybe it was nice to take a step back and be able to see that,
Yeah,
how we can,
absolutely.
how we
Again,
can
we
do
took
our,
all those things for granted and maybe didn't realize that we could have been doing something different. And, now there's so much turmoil this last week and so many things happening. And so, I just feel like we need to wake up and look around us and see that there's a lot of injustice all over the world in all different ways, colors, shapes, sizes. And this COVID thing has kind of made us step back, take a look around us because we couldn't go
I think so
anywhere.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's an important lesson that we need to constantly remember.
right. Yeah, absolutely. And turn off the TV because the news media doesn't always know what they're talking about, right?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah. So
that's
we
right.
won't go down that
Tune
road.
into mo- Tune into motorcycle and motorsports media
There you
instead.
go. That's right, because they do know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So, can you share with me? I know you're in the Chicago area. Do you have any events that you could share with us that are coming up that people might want to come? We're only a couple hours away from you here in Kalamazoo. What do you have coming up that people might want to come and attend?
Well, we certainly have some dealerships that always have things going on every weekend. One of my favorites is Woodstock Harley Davidson. So people can just tune in and see what they're doing. I don't know that they're getting their events back up completely. There's some great bike nights that are going to start to open up. We do a Thursday night one. It's called Tire Swarm at Brower House. That's really a fun one. Motoblot, of course, is the end of September. They've rescheduled that, and that's a great one that we were at when we met a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see. I know that Sturgis is still going to be happening, and that's going to be interesting to see. Either, and it's the 80th this year, so it's either going to be really under attended, or it's going to just blow the doors off because everybody's been cooped up for so long
Right.
and saved money by not going to all these other events. It may just be crazy in Sturgis this year. So that'll be something that I'm definitely going to be a part of. Um, we are the official radio of the rally.
Okay.
So 2019 and 2020. So we'll be on air from the Harley Davidson uh, pavilion every day, usually between like 11 and 2. So yeah, so those are some of the bigger things that we're going to be doing. I know there's a not a grand opening, open house, first annual, I think, open house, that Boomer Cycle Works is a part of, and we're a part of that. It'll be great to get out and be going to these things again. We've got newsletters from our title sponsor. Distribute at these events, and it's just motorcycle newsletters. Look at that, Motor Maids and all women motorcycle clubs. So they're just great news stories in these. I'll have to send you one.
Yes, please send me one. I'll send you my address after this. That would
Perfect.
be, I'd love to have that. So,
yeah, and our title sponsor also makes this great newsletter. You can win a Harley by going to motorcyclesafetylawyers.com. So we sold it's a national campaign for NAML, it was their overhead. It's a national campaign, but we won the campaign last year and sold the winning bike. So we gave it away, and we plan on doing that again this year.
good.
So it's free. It's free if you want to win a motorcycle or $20,000 towards your own choice of motorcycle. So that's kind of fun. So
That's really fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You like to get motorcycles away. You just love to get motorcycles away.
Yeah, and people love to get motorcycles too.
Yeah, they do.
So Gina, you said you were rebuilding a motorcycle. Tell me about that. What have you done in your life about what kind of bikes do you ride? What are you rebuilding?
Okay, so I am rebuilding a 49 Panhead, and with my favorite friends at JMP Cycles. I'm rebuilding the Panhead and just getting it back to stock. So it's kind of been a little updated with high performance components and elements, and I just want to take it back and have it be a stock bike and ride it stock. I've got a Ultra Glide as well, so I may be going out for a ride in a little while on that. As soon as the heat of the day, we got a hot one today. It's like 90 degrees, so we got a hot one today. It's nice to go for a ride after the heat.
Right.
You know, so I've got that, and then I've got a all-women. I've got a military bike that was one of my all-women bike builds. So we've done about 6 different bike builds that women have done at a rally. This one was made in 2000, I'd like to say 8 or 9 by 4 women motorcyclists that were also military. So they served in fashion. And then we raffled one of the 2 bikes off. We raffled the trike off, and we gave that away from Woodstock Harley Davidson on Veterans Day 3 years ago. So yeah, I love anything that has a motor and zooms and brooms, and that's what's in my stalls right now.
Right.
But I can't wait till the antique bike is done. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And it's hot here today too. I'm not complaining because the weather was so rainy and cool and chilly. And I actually went to Arizona for 3 weeks to help my daughters with their kids because they were all still working and working from home, trying to school their kids. It was a bit much. So Mama went out there for 3 weeks, and I've been home now about a week, but the weather's been
What do
really
they call
nice.
you?
They call me Mama.
Mama. I'm a
Mama.
Gigi. I'm a
Yeah.
Gigi. So
Okay.
you're a Mama. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Mama. And so I was out there and the weather was beautiful. And then the week I left, it was in the hundreds. And then the weather here's been nice. So I've been glad to be back to Michigan for a little while. I'm trying to get my house I'm sorting, pitching, giving away, selling, doing whatever because we're going to
Oh
downsize
my
and
God, it's a big job.
live in Arizona for 6 months out of the year and be with our family there part of the year, the family here part of the year. So a lot of things happening. And, through the whole COVID thing, and I think you said this too, you've been really busy. I found that I think it was people were shut in and they were looking for things to do. So
Yeah.
there were more people on social media. I was able to record podcasts with women who maybe would have been too busy if it was race season going on. And so,
Yeah.
again, step back and be able to do some things that I probably couldn't have done in a normal season. And now here we go. We're going to get started back, and things are going to be different but better, and I'm excited about that part of it.
Yeah,
So
me too. I think
yeah.
so too. I think the things are going to be better, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to get back and see people again. We're teaching. We had just taught our first class when the lockdown came of accident scene management, and so that's a bystander assistance program that we encourage all motorcyclists to take. And our title sponsor, motorcyclesafetylawyers.com, they are a huge supporter of that. So we're able to teach these classes, accident scene management, and we had to cancel, all the classes that we had scheduled. We had another 3 classes scheduled. So it'll be exciting to get back and teach these people. We usually cut it off, in June and July, August, because those are times people want to ride, and that's sit inside on a Saturday. Our classes are very interactive, so you're learning stuff, and we've just had people walk away from these classes that it's just changed their life. And I know when I took it, 25 years ago, it changed my life, and that's why I now teach it as well. I became an instructor. So it's EMT. We teach EMT. We teach fire department. We teach police. We teach motorcyclists, guys, girls, of any age, and it really is an important skill to have. Instead it gives you confidence. Instead of, if they say that, a motorcycle accident will, 9 out of 10 times happen with another motorcycle. There'll be another motorcyclist around you, whether it's a group of people or one other
Right.
motorcyclist, husband and wife, and to know what to do to help save that person's life before EMT gets there. We as motorcyclists travel pretty far out, and that could be an hour away,
Right.
from a popular area, and you could be out there with one other motorcyclist for up to 30 minutes, in an emergency situation. So yeah, we teach you what to do first in accident scene management.
So is
So
that
it's
just
real
in the
important.
Chicago area where you teach that?
Nope. So my girlfriend Vicky Sanfilippo, that's her curriculum. She's a trauma nurse, and she came up with it 25 years ago. And she has taught it in Australia, and she's got instructors all over the country now. So she's taught instructors to teach people. So we'll go like to the hog chapters or abate members. We had the BMW guys do our first one, and then we're going to have uh, the Road Riders, I think they are, more of a church group, do our next one. So we haven't rescheduled that yet, but it feels like it's going to start happening soon. So we're really excited about that. We want everybody to take the course. It gives you so much more confidence in standing on the side of the road and not know what to do
Right.
to help save someone.
Right.
You
So
know,
can you
so
say
we
that
teach.
again? How would people look that up to see where the classes are going to be? Do you know?
You can go straight to accidentscenemanagement.org.
Okay, accidentscenemanagement.org. Okay, very good. I hadn't heard of that before, but I'm sure they're doing something in Michigan, so I will have to look that up and
Oh,
see
they are.
what I can find. Yeah,
They,
yeah, that's
yeah, they
awesome.
definitely are. They're doing it worldwide.
Good. Yeah, that's important
Yes.
because I came upon a motorcycle accident on my way to work one day, and you don't know what to do. And I was a block and a half from the hospital, which is where I happened to work at the time. And honestly, it felt like forever for them to get there, and it wasn't. It was a matter of a minute or two. But when you don't know what to do and you're sitting there and someone's hurting, time goes like it stops, it slows down. And so that's a really cool program. I'm going to look that up,
It
Gina.
really is. It really is. I enjoyed it so much that I became an instructor because I believe in it,
Yeah.
and I think everybody should have those
Yeah,
skills that we teach because they're
absolutely.
so important. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So do you have any guests coming up that you want to share, that's happening, or um
We have been kind of flying by the seat of our pants with the show lately. After 23 years, I could go either way with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So yeah, I don't Jason Momoa, I'm trying to get him right now, but
okay,
yeah, Chris Tice, we're going to be talking with him this weekend about racing because they do a lot of
okay,
um, the stunt activities that a dealership will have or at a rally. So Tice is going to be going into that a little bit more with us. If you've been to any of the IMS shows, he's usually on that tour, and he's got the bike that goes up and kind of shows you know, what it feels like to be performing stunts with your bike. So he's going to talk to us about that this week. That I know for sure.
okay,
And we'll have our What's Happening, our two-wheeled What's Happening. Our title sponsor sponsors that
okay,
as well. And we'll talk about some of the new events that are starting to open up.
okay. I went to the international motorcycle shows in Chicago several different times, my husband and I. And the one I remember the most is when the guys rode in the inside in the like circle thing.
Yeah,
And
the,
that was
the,
crazy to
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, so our good friends Charlie, there's a couple of different companies that do that. They have the one that's complete round globe dome, and then they have the one that's open where people can give them the dollars, and they're riding around it. So a couple of Charlie Ransom, one of my good friends, he does that. Then they've got several different
Uh-huh.
types stuff, but those are really fun. And yeah, just people that have passion in motorcycling that there's all different aspects to it, all different kinds of things you can do with it, depending how far your passion goes.
And how brave you are, because some of that would take
Yeah.
some bravery, some guts to to do some of that. So
Oh, I know, and I've seen them go like around and around. Like there's six of them in this little globe, and it's like,
yeah,
what? Yeah,
yeah.
that's
One wrong
crazy.
one wrong
But
move
they
and
do
they're a pile at the bottom, that's for sure. But it's fun to watch, that's
it.
for sure. So Gina, is there
It
anything?
is.
Go ahead.
I said just like racing and races, and I grew up in a racing family. My grandfather and grandmother used to race at O'Hare Stadium before it was O'Hare Airport. So
Really?
yes, my grandfather was a race car driver. My father always had a lead foot. My grandmother did powder puff derbies, and I just love right. I'll go to Union Grove still. We'll go out to Sycamore Speedway.
Oh yeah.
Um, right here in Chicago, we have Chicagoland Speedway, so that's nice. I'm always usually at the NHRA
Uh-huh.
champions. So it's nice, I love that need for speed, and I love we go out to the demolition races. I love that environment. So yeah, it's just,
I've
when
been
it's in
to
your blood, it's in your
Sycamore.
blood, right?
I've been to Sycamore Speedway. I did a road trip a couple of years ago, and I went to Grundy County one night. I went to Sycamore a different night, and what fun! Those tracks are both fun. Of course, been to Chicagoland, which isn't having a NASCAR race this year, and I'm hearing some things that it's going to be turning into something else and not a racetrack any longer. But been to
Oh,
the NHRA events as well, which are really, really fun. So hopefully
yeah,
we get back to those.
exactly. Well, good. On that note, Melinda, I will see you at the races.
All right. You know what, Gina? Thank you so much for taking time today to be on with us, and hopefully I'll see you somewhere along the path this summer, and we'll be able to see each other in person again. That would be fun.
That would be a blast. Thank you for
All right.
having me. And I'll see you out on the open road.
All right. See you there.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Racing Girls Rock Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at International Women's Motorsports Association or on Instagram and Twitter at the IWMA Nation. And if you know someone that should be on our show, drop us an email at iwmanation@gmail.com.